Welcome to the basic introduction of Coreprint Web to Print from vPress. Within this introduction, I'll be showing you the basic features of our system and how easy it can be managed and deployed. The first thing to address is access. Here we have a branded login page. This page can look like anything, and for example, here is a client site. What we can also do is we can support SSO, single sign-on, direct from your client, and CXML punch-out from your client's proprietary ERP CRM system. These points of access will be addressed in further presentations of the system. For today, I'm just going to show you a basic login website. Upon entry into the site, you will see that the site can be branded and styled in different ways. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going into a standard vPress Coreprint site. So you'll see the column on the left-hand side where you've got some additional functionality and modules is in orange. I can amend and change the graphic at the top and the graphic in the top header, and indeed all the buttons and the folders around. So the site can visibly look completely different from what you see now. Also within the navigation, I have some additional features within the actual options there. I've got a currency there, which is UK sterling. Because I'm in the UK, we can of course support multiple currencies. We have shopping cart. We also have help option and logout. So as I just previously mentioned, the folder icons are in front of you, can look pretty much like anything. And just to show you a quick example of the flexibility of the site, here I currently have orange buttons. If I go back up to that icon there, which is my login details, I can come down to themes. And within themes, I can make very quick changes within the site without being a computer programmer. Here, I'm going to go to buttons. What I can do is I can see an example of what a button looks like on the site. I could enter a different hexadecimal reference in there, or I could color match it on a slider there to pick and choose what color I wanted from the swatch. I can change the color, and by dragging this slider here, I can make that very round, or I can make that very square. Very easy. So you don't have to be a hardcore programmer in order to make changes within our site. And there's lots of other options here that can be supported. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to continue using the site as it is. So firstly, let's start off by looking at the kinds of products that we manage within the site. And here I'm going to start off with stock products. Within stock products, I've got two categories showing two different kinds of products within. Now these products could be managed. You could have the same products in different categories managed based upon how you wanted to set up the user profile. For simplicity, we've just set up in a really basic way. I'm going to start off with printed stock. I'm going to go into that folder, and you'll see that I've got grid selection here as an option. I also have a list format that when I select it, it's a toggle. I can go across and I can see it in a different style altogether. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to remain on the grid format. So in order to see the functionality of the site, I'm going to click on this product here, A4 NCR pads. I get an image of the actual product. I get a description with product code, pack quantity, and a drop down. I'm selecting 20 packs of 20 from the stock there of 44,920. Now this stock could be held in your warehouse, it could be held and managed on your MIS system, but for this demonstration it's held within Coreprint itself, which has the ability to do that. I'm now going to add those products to basket. From here, I have the ability to check out and complete my order, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I wish to continue to shop. I'm now going to go back into the stock products folder, and I'm going to look at that other folder of products we saw just before, non-printed stock. Again, I'm looking in the grid view, but here I just want to pick a multitude of products just by selecting the plus icon. You can see I can also make product favorites as well for quick access, but here I'm just placing those items into this pre-basket where I can select bulk orders. Within my bulk orders, the system is just confirming how many I actually want. The rucksack, I can see there's 32 in stock and I can order between 1 and 10. I'm going to order 5 and it instantly gives me a price. That price can be managed within the software or from a third-party application subject to integration. I'm coming down here to Shorelight where I'm going to order 2, and here Corporate Mug where I'm actually going to order 12. Some products may have price on and distinct quantity management and also visibility of stock, and some products don't. I'm now going to add those items to basket to join the NCR pads I selected previously. At any time I can check out my basket. Now I'm going to go back to home. Now I'm going to look at something that's variable. I'm now going to click on stationery, and within stationery, of course, I've got a business card. Each business card here is different, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to click on this fictitious company, Robertson Thompson. I hasten to add, this is not a real company. So you can see as I scroll down, the proof always remains on screen. I get an indication here that it's multiple page, 1 of 2 pages. Again, I can change my view. I can request a PDF at any time, and I can refresh screen if I'm on a slow connection. So let me just start by creating a business card. So I've entered my recipient of the business card's name there, and I'm now going to give him a qualification. I'm also going to make him a managing partner, and I'm going to select a location. Different information can happen based upon the information we've selected here, and by selecting Dubai, it's actually brought in the Dubai telephone numbers. This information can be managed with a prefix, the content of the actual number format, and the post management of the data. Here, I'm just going to change that number and see it updated on screen. As I scroll down, you can see this in effect again by me entering a mobile phone number, and the number will correct itself to the correct format and in the correct position to preserve the integrity on the actual business card. And then when I enter in the email address, all I've got to do is type in the name, and that name will appear on the business card in the correct location, always maintaining the management of the data that's there. I should point out now that coming into the site, you don't have to have that. The system can manage all of this information in advance if it's been set up in a slightly different way. It helps the user experience. Now, of course, up here you can see that this is page 1 of 2, so it's a double-sided business card, and I can click on this option here to review the reverse of the card. First thing you see is that data is now going from right to left rather than left to right, and the information is being transliterated into Arabic, and these are now editable fields. If I scroll back to the front, the English details are still going to be there in order to see. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save this item, and I'm going to call it Jack Jones 123. I can now save different versions of this product. I could attach a spreadsheet and save multiple versions of the product, or I could just go and reorder that at any time in the future, leaving it now to come back when I want to. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to place an order for it now. What I am going to do is I'm also going to click on Show PDF, and you'll see that the system will create a PDF version of the business card created in the browser on the fly. As I zoom right in there, you'll see that it's got a watermark there, which is a variable itself. There's no crop or bleed because it's applied as a variable because it could affect the production process. And I can see front and back of the actual business card. Just going to zoom in a little bit further, and you can see that it is print quality. I'm going to close that down, and I'm just going to place an order. In placing an order, you'll see I again get a visual of the card on screen. I get a breakdown of the quantity options with a further breakdown subject to price. Here I can select 500, it changes the price, and I can add that to basket. You can of course choose to have quantity on, price on and off, subject to how you want to set the products up. So I now have 5 products in my basket. I'm now going to go to the home page, and I'm going to look at something slightly different. I'm now going to go into marketing, and I'm going to look at a different kind of product. And here at VPress, we've probably got experience of all different kinds of products you could think of, having many customers using different products on our software. As I scroll down here, you can see lots of different templates. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this item here, which is a corporate invitation that has been set up a number of years ago, but it's still very applicable to the kind of functionality you can expect from web to print. You'll see that the traditional standard editor, the interface is very similar to that of the business card. So the logic in creating a proof on screen doesn't really change too much from product to product. So as I scroll down here, I can't really do anything until I've saved a version of this. As I scroll down, you'll see that it's got VPress at the bottom, and it's got a green theme located on the actual invite. Again, that functionality is there should I need to use it. So I'm just going to change this. I'm going to change this to orange. I'm going to pick image number 1, and I'm just going to put the name that I used for the business card in there like so. As I'm entering these fields here, they're being updated on screen. So I've now got an orange title. I can see there's a little bit of rendering on that curve there, but the beauty about having a PDF on demand is that I can see that that'll be true when I look at it. It's brought in the library image, which is pre-cropped already. I've entered my name, and it's put that name in the solid, supporting multiple different production processes. As I scroll down, you'll see also that it's got the VPress logo, but there's also the orange theme has been applied down there as well. So what I'm going to do just for the purpose of this demonstration is just copy that name, and I'm going to call this the VPress Open Day 2021. Come down here, just paste some text in there, and then I come down to this function here, DAM, Digital Asset Manager. Now, you can, of course, go and purchase a DAM off the shelf in order to support your business or your customer's business at any time. It's a way of managing images, data in a secure and robust way. What we've done in order to try and help our customers is we've built DAM within, because DAM is a costly piece of software to support your business. So by building it into actual Coreprint, what it means is you can now start managing assets and images. So not only can you upload images into products, and the system will pre-flight those images to ensure that they're correct based upon DPI and aspect ratio, but you can also build a library of images that your customer may want to use. So as I go into the DAM, I'm just going to expand it to full screen. Come down here, I'm going to pick on a image like so. I'm going into that image. It's perfectly fine for me to select that image and bring it in. I can see the attributes of the image. I can crop, I can download that image if I need to. But for the purpose of demonstration, I'm actually just going to crop it. And by cropping it, the system will maintain aspect ratio. So you will get the correct positioned image in the correct aspect ratio when you bring it in. The system will manage those variables. Also, it will maintain that the image will remain above a certain DPI. So there's the image that I actually want. If I scroll it all the way down, you'll see that it will actually maintain that aspect ratio. So I'm happy with that. I'm now going to save that image. It won't affect the first image. It will maintain that within the DAM, but it will allow me to bring this in and save it. Like so. So I now have that image on screen. I'm now going to select a date for my event. So let's just say the 1st of July and a time. Let's have 9 AM. And then I've got some options where I can just select a checkbox. So the first one is breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. So I'm now selecting pre-identified fields that will bring in different amounts of information as required. And of course, I can change that company logo down there if I do so require. Now, I haven't finished the whole of this document because it is multiple page. So if it's one of 2 pages, one of 10 pages, or one of 16 pages, or however many, I've merely just got to scroll across to the next page. You'll see it's taking the branding and the logo to the next page. So all I've got to do now is select an address. I'm going to select Arundel House and put in a URL. And subject to the information I've just entered there, you'll see the Coreprint is now pulled in the title. It's pulled in a map, which is stored within the system. It's pinpointed where my location is, and it's given an address. All that information can also be embedded within a QR code, which is created down there. Now, obviously, QR codes are quite popular at the moment. We've built in a QR code builder within the software, and it comes free as part of the package. It's good to know because they're so well utilized. If I change that location now to Hotel Novotel, it changes the title, it gives different maps, some different details, and it'll update the QR code as well. So now that I'm happy with that, again, same as with a business card, I'm going to save that and give a title. I can save different versions of it, and I can place an order now once it's been saved. And in placing an order, what the system's going to ask me for, by entering the quantity in here, the system will automatically work out the price. Again, it can do it independently, or it can integrate into a third-party system such as an MIS. I'm now going to add that to my basket. And you can see I've got my product there. Now, I'm just going to show you one final product, and that final product is a different kind of editor. I mentioned that we've got a standard editor, in which case the business card and the invite was done. But here, I'm now going to show you a dynamic editor. So I'm going to go back into marketing, and you can have different products with a different editor. So as I scroll down, I'm going to select this medical poster, A1 vaccine poster, which I can see here. So I'm clicking on the actual icon, and I can see the items have been created already, but I'm going to create a new product. What's happened now? The product is actually loaded within the browser, and this is now using our dynamic editor. You'll see there are no more fields here. However, you can configure how this looks and works by going into settings and selecting different modes. For here, I've got the simple mode, and what I'm going to do is all I've got to do is click on something in order to change it. So I'm creating this for a gentleman called Jack, so I can actually just type in there, Jack, have you still not had your flu jab? It's automatically resizing the text in the correct font, even if that font is installed by the user. And if I click on there, I can now make the change. So I can change that to 25. And of course, very pertinent to what's going on now, I could click on there and it could change that to your COVID-19. So where there's a requirement to do so, I can click on fields and I can make changes. If I don't like the background, I do have some color options here. I can select different colors in order to meet the requirements of the template. Here as well, I've got an image. I showed you before the dam. I'm going to use the dam in a different way. I'm selecting that image. If I change the image, the system will always maintain the aspect ratio. So if I make a mistake with that image, it will always correct it for me. What I'm going to do is just make that a little bit larger. Move it to one side. Like so. So I can manipulate that image. I can also change its opacity. I can change its alignment. But here what I'm going to do is I'm going to select to change that image by using Adam once again. So I'm going into Adam. I'm going into a different folder. And within that folder, I've got a selection of different images. Here I'm going to select Dr. Jenkins. It's already on a transparency. There's no reason to crop it, although I could if I wanted to. I'm selecting that and I'm bringing it in. And I'm just going to change that opacity again. Let's just make it a little bit bolder. Let's just bring them a little bit further over. Click on the background and let's have it in a little bit more of a reddier background. And what I can do is I can save that. As before, once I've saved it, I can then place an order. It confirms the actual title. And we're now back to the same ordering page that we saw before, but I've got the proof on screen. Here I can order between 1 and 50, so I'm going to order 25, works out the price, and I'm going to add to basket. Now I've got all my products. We obviously have different types of products that we could cover, but these are not for this presentation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down there. I'm happy. It's given me a total price, and I'm going to proceed to checkout. Here, the system has an orders page. This is completely configurable for each different customer. Client, PO, cost center, purchase order, whatever terminology you want, we can amend that. If there's a cost center here and it's alpha hyphen numeric, we can of course support that within the system. We can actually have a list of those cost centers or purchase orders behind the scenes that the system can validate with. The system can remember order details of users coming into the system as well. We can identify a delivery address, an invoice address, lots of configurable fields that can be turned on or off, and we can even have a little comment box here that says please print now and deliver yesterday. Now I can check my order out. In checking it out, we could have a payment gateway in order to take a payment, a credit card. Of course, for the purpose of this demonstration, it's not one turned on. And I'm now here where I've got order number 1092 and a summary of my items there. So Coreprint will also send an email to confirm that, and it'll also send a further email should any of these products need authorization from a third party. It will manage that within the system. But it doesn't just stop there, because when I go into reports and I click on a basic order report, I actually get visibility of the order that I've just taken, I've just placed. So as I click on that order number 192, each product there, as I break down, you'll see it's listed by line item, and each product has its own order line ID and own store status, order status. So we can track products going to a third-party supplier as and when needed. So although I'm the supplier for this customer, some of these products go into my supplier, and I can be managing that within the actual portal. And the customer gets a total status of all their items. Not only that, if they want to review one of the products from within the report, they can click on that and they can see the item that they placed. And there's the business card that I ordered before. In addition to that, we can support authorization, multiple statuses coming from multiple areas, management of credits as well, should there be a credit listed within there, so different users have spend allocation. We can support other integrations coming into here as required. And what I can also do is I can chronologically search all my orders, so I can go back to the first of the month. I can update my report and I can see all the products that have been ordered if I'm the system administrator. So I can now see lots of different items there. And within that search criteria, so chronologically, I can pick a window starting from. I can search for any optional keywords or any titles that are in there as well. So I can filter down, and if I wanted to know how many customers of a certain postcode had ordered product X between X and Y, I can find that information, and of course I can export that into Excel. So this has been a basic introduction into Coreprint Web to Print. We have many more presentations and taking the system forward. You'll see that it's mobile responsive on screen at the moment. Should you need any further assistance, contact us at vpress.com or sales@vpress.com. We'll only be too happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.